going to need a lot of going forward is rubber, and the easiest way to get that is to make a tree tap. So we take this out to our rubber farm, and each time you see one of these little droplets on the side, you can just right click it with the tree tap, and then you'll get sap. So I'll just go around and gather a bunch of these for right now. And then what you do is you place these in a furnace to get rubber. And I think I have some rubber wood logs, which later we can get rubber from in an extractor, but for right now the only thing we can get rubber from is this sticky resin. So I'll go ahead and put this in a furnace, cook it up. And then we will see about making some wire. And what we want to get is this geothermal generator that we can use the lava that we found in order to power a bunch of Industrialcraft stuff. So we need the generator, which means we need an iron furnace. So the way you make an iron furnace is to just make the furnace shape, but instead of cobble you use iron. And we're starting to get our rubber here. So what else can we make as part of this recipe? We need glass. I'm not sure. We have a lot more sand downstairs. So it would probably be the most useful to just take everything down there and construct it. So one of the first things that you'll need to make in Industrialcraft is wire, and there are two ways to make it. You can either make 6 insulated copper cables like this, or you can just put 3 copper and make uninsulated cable, and then from that put it in the crafting grid with some rubber, and you can make one at a time like that. Then the next thing that's needed is a battery, and it's not showing the recipe for a battery, but I happen to know that this is the recipe. So in conjunction with refined iron and a battery, we can turn an iron furnace into a generator. Now refined iron is just iron that has been run through the furnace again. So I took some iron that I already had and put it through the furnace, and I now have 14 refined iron in my chest, and I can make that and that and that, and now I have a generator. Now the other thing we need is empty cells. So what empty cells are is just tin that has been placed in a diamond configuration, and you get 16 empty cells just for that small amount. And with that and some refined iron and some glass, we can go ahead and make our geothermal generator. So let's see, it goes like this, and I have more glass down here, and then our empty cells, and then we have the geothermal generator. Now there is a slight upgrade from that for GregTech, that is the thermal generator, but since we don't have GregTech installed here, we don't need to worry about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my Industrialcraft stuff on this side, and the next item that I'm going to need is an extractor, which starts to use these things called electronic circuits. Which again need quite a bit of wire. So let's see how much wire we have. An electronic circuit is made with 6 wires, 2 redstone, and a refined iron, and that gives us an electronic circuit. The other item that the extractor calls for is a machine block, and all that is refined iron in the furnace shape, and that gives you the machine block. And so from there we just need 4 undamaged tree taps, and since these don't stack, we have to pull them out one at a time. And so we just place it in a crafting grid in this configuration. Oops. And now we have an extractor, and this will give us better yields for processing rubber. We get 6 per sticky resin instead of just 1. I think it's 6, it might be 3. So if you look in here, this is currently unpowered, and the reason it's unpowered is because we don't have a battery to power it, and it's not connected to any kind of power generating device. See if we can put the, nope, he didn't make it. Anyway, so what we can do is we can take some of our copper cable that we already constructed and just attach it from the generator to this device, and once we give this some lava to process, I'm not sure why that happened, it will begin generating power, and then our extractor will be powered. But before we get too far with that, what we should really do is create more batteries in order to store the power that we create and not waste it. So the way we do that is through a bat box. And for Industrialcraft, there's several mods that have a bat box, but this brown looking one is the one for Industrialcraft, and we just need some wood, some batteries, and some copper cable, which we have just enough to make it, I believe, because we have our 3 batteries and we have 1 wire remaining, so we can make a bat box. The other item that we need to make is the Industrialcraft wrench, which is this orangey one, and that requires bronze in this Y shape. And we already know how we can make bronze from the other work that we did. The question is, will we be able to make enough? Is that tin? Yes, tin. Perfect. We have just enough to make the Industrialcraft wrench. There is an Omni wrench in some of the other Feed the Beast packs, and that will allow you to kind of replace all of these different wrenches. This electric wrench is also Industrialcraft, and this is the buildcraft wrench, and I'm not sure what this one is. So, so we need to place our bat box. So what we can do is just put it up on top of this, and I believe it points the output at you. So I'm going to go ahead and try and place it like this. Shift and click will allow you to place it on something that you would normally just go in and see the inventory. And we see it is starting to store some of the power. Any of these surfaces will act as input, only the one with the circle will act as output. So once we get more wire, we can connect it to this so that we're drawing power not directly from the generator but from the bat box instead. So I went up to the surface and I grabbed some sticky resin, so we're going to put it in the extractor to try it out and see how much we get out of here. It does take a little while. All these slots over here to the right are upgrade slots, and one of the things that you can make for it to make it go a little faster is an overclock upgrade. Um, and you can stack those up to 4 or 5 and get this to run a lot faster, but it also consumes more power. So apparently it's 3 that you get per sticky resin. So that's not as great as I would have hoped. Definitely need to construct some kind of walls around here or something. So I had the turtle mining in the background while I was doing some other things, and one of the things that it managed to obtain was these 5 diamonds, and so now we can go ahead and make these diamantine electron tubes. And what this will allow us to do is make... trying to remember what the thing is called. What we can do is we can just take the tube out and just search for recipes for that tube, and then I won't have to remember. I think it's called a lumberjack or something like that. Logger, and you can use that in conjunction with the arboretum that we made previously to both grow trees, and then this will harvest them, and it also harvests the apples and the saplings that drop from the arboretum as well. So let's see if we can go ahead and make that. We need a sturdy casing again, as always. So we can do that, and then get what else we needed in that. Just some glass and a basic circuit board, and I did make some extra basic circuit boards for this purpose. So basic circuit board, glass is in this chest, and goes in the corners, and then our diamond, and then we get our logger. One of the other fuels we can use in the game in order to power the buildcraft machines, as well as some of the Industrialcraft stuff, is like a biofuel. In this instance, they refer to it as biomass. You can further refine it into biofuel to more concentrate the energy, but it's not necessary. The biogas engine can generate power based off of it, buildcraft power, and the biogenerator can generate, I believe, Industrialcraft power off of it. So in order to get that, we need something called a fermenter, which is this item here, which requires 4 bronze gears, 4 glass, and then another sturdy casing. So we already have a sturdy casing. What we need is the bronze gears, and those are based on a stone gear, and you just surround that with some bronze, and you can pull bronze gears out of there. So if we put that in the middle and put the bronze gears on the corners with some glass, we can get our fermenter, which will allow us to make some biomass.